right, you ready?
I guess
All
so.
right. Okay, so when buyers pull up to a home, they decide in the first 7 seconds whether it feels like the one. That
Mhm.
means curb appeal isn't just nice to have, it can make or break your sale. Today, I'm joined by Vivian from Quality Lawn Care. Thank you for meeting me. Thanks for inviting me to your
Of
home
course.
here in Albuquerque. She's sharing her best tips for sellers who want to make a great first impression without spending a fortune.
Mhm.
So, Vivian, tell us a little bit about Quality Lawn Care and what kind of work you do here in Albuquerque.
Of course. So my husband Robert started the business, 19 years old, mower, blower, line trimmer, truck and a trailer, and he went out and started passing out flyers. So his first goal was to get mowing customers, and that was back in 1990. So over the years, it's been 35 years this year actually,
Wow.
and he has grown to learn a whole lot more about the industry. So we have expanded into not just lawn services. We also do some landscaping, but mostly it's the maintenance. We
Mm-hmm.
do the trimming, the planting, sod, seed, planting trees, we plant shrubs, we plant flowers, we weed, pretty much anything that has to do with lawn or yard maintenance, we take care of it. So you don't have to have a lawn in order to get our services, but that is one of the things that we do very well.
Okay. And when you meet a home buyer who's preparing to sell, what is the first thing you look at outside of their home?
Well, as soon as we pull up to the yard, we take a look and see what does it look like? What does it actually look like? What is going to be that first impression? Is it dirty? Does it need a cleanup? Does it look neat and tidy, or does it look very disheveled? Do they have dead trees, plants that need removal, stuff like that? So we really look right away to see what is that first glimpse that a new buyer, may be looking for.
Okay. So, what are the simplest and most affordable changes that sellers can make to instantly boost their curb appeal?
Cleanup, 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 cleanup. It even just 10 leaves across the lawn is going to look disheveled.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of silly when you think about it,
Yeah.
but really you want to make sure you have a nice, clean, tidy yard. Like we were talking this morning, and he said, you can pull up to a yard that's got rock and grass, but if it's got a lot of dirt and weeds and it looks really bad, that looks worse than just a
Mm-hmm.
plain dirt yard.
Yeah. So it looks like people haven't been paying attention and taking care of it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And are there any common mistakes that sellers make with landscaping that actually hurt their home's first impression besides the untidiness?
Well, yeah, what's so funny is sometimes you have to think about the seller or the buyer's point of view. Okay, what is it that they're going to want? Not what is it that you're going to want for them.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go out and spend thousands of dollars getting rid of your grass. And then all of a sudden, you've got a person who comes in and gets rid of all your xeriscape and puts grass back
Right.
in, because
Yeah.
that's a big loss to you.
Mm-hmm.
So make what you have work
Okay.
first.
Yeah. Keep it simple,
Keep
right?
it
Keep it
simple.
simple.
Hmm.
Okay. So if somebody has a budget of say $200 to $500 to spend, where would you recommend putting it in for the biggest impact?
Same thing. Cleanup. And unfortunately, $200 to $500 is not going to get
Not
you
a whole
very
lot,
much.
right?
No, I mean,
Okay.
it's sad to say, it just because it takes time.
Mm-hmm.
Most of our really thorough cleanups are going to fall between $500 and
Okay.
$1,000. So you have to be realistic. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to save that money, and you're okay with going out there and doing the cleanup yourself, that's
Mm-hmm.
really where you can save.
Mm-hmm.
Spend that money if you're going to get a plant or a tree, though I have to say that's probably not going to cover it, but maybe some
Mm-hmm.
nice little shrubs or flowering shrubs
Mm-hmm.
could add a little bit of curb appeal. Those might be
Okay.
the cheapest things.
Okay. So some nice perennials, maybe, or
Hmm.
some shrubs.
Yes.
Okay. What about higher end upgrades? Is there anything that really pays off in resale value?
Well, in our area, in our industry, you see that they're really trying to save water.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do want to make sure that if you have any irrigation that's happening in your yard, make sure it's working.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have water leaks or you have improper watering schedules,
Mm-hmm.
that right away will show. That will also save you money if you can make those kinds of adjustments. I would also say try to find some low water use plants.
Okay.
The city does have a list that they do provide.
And they have a rebate program.
And
as
they
well,
have a rebate
right?
program.
Mm-hmm.
So if you participate in that, there are some logistics you have to go through for that, but it's worth it in the end.
Okay. And so if we were going to talk about the low water plants. Do you have any recommendations for low water plants, or does your husband recommend any?
Yes. So we have a Rose of Sharon. Rose of Sharon looks pretty, has some nice flowers that come out, and it's not as high maintenance, low water use. That's one that's recommended. Crepe myrtles, which we have right here behind us, also puts out a lot of different colors: white, pink, you know, dark red, and also low water use. You can shape that into a shrub or a tree, which is really nice. If it's not everybody's for it, but if you like it, cactus could also work for you. And then depending on the kind, I've seen some ocotillo and then just some regular, cactus type plants out. And of course, that's going to be low water use, and it's going to work in your xeriscape.
Okay. And there are like some really nice cactus varieties that are spineless, or at least don't have the big spines that you can get that are a little more friendly.
Yeah, go to a nursery and ask for the opinions. You want to take one of the most important things is to look at your climate. And what I mean by that is every area of your yard has a microclimate. So it's going to get a certain amount of sun, certain amount of shade, certain amount of water, certain amount of traffic. So you need to look at those microclimates when you're deciding on plants, trees, shrubs, grass, anything. First thing my husband asks when he goes to a yard and someone wants some landscaping advice is, what are you going to use the space for? Gotcha. And then once he figures that out, he looks at the microclimates to see what will work.
So how can sellers quickly refresh their yard if they're listing in the late summer when things are looking a little, not as happy as they did maybe in May?
Well, the same thing. It goes to doing the cleanups. If you have a yard, if you have a lawn, make sure your edges are all trimmed nice and neat. Make sure you don't have any dry spots in your lawn. Check to see if there's problems with your irrigation system. Fertilize. You'd be amazed at how many people don't ever fertilize their yard. If they just do a quick fertilizer within a week or two, you can actually see the difference. Little things like that can really go a long way at the end of the summer. We have a lot of people who have cool season grass, and they don't realize that cool season grass does not work well with high temperatures.
Right.
So warm season grasses, which we don't really like Bermuda, but it thrives in the summertime because it is a warm season grass. But as it starts to get cooler, your bluegrass, your fescue, those are going to start perking up and looking a little better at the end of the summer.
Okay. So if a seller is short on time, I think your answer is going to be clean up, right?
There you go. clean up.
Get outside there with a rake and clean everything up.
Yep.
And where can people reach you if they want help getting their home market ready?
Well, they can call us. Our phone number is 505-836-4000, or they can email us, abqqualitylawn@msn.com. But if they want to learn more about all the services that we have, they can go to our website, qualitylawncareabq.com. And in there, I list all the different services that not just can we do, but can they do for themselves. And so we like to teach people what it is that they can do.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Vivian, for all your insights. And I know our sellers are going to find them really helpful. So if you'd like more tips on preparing your home for market, don't forget to hit subscribe and check out my other videos on staging and seller prep. And if you're thinking of selling here in Albuquerque, let's connect. I'd love to help make your move a success. And thanks again, Vivian.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.